Do you actually work for ICE?
No, not at all. Nope.
Explain the outfit.
It's $29.99 on Amazon. I would recommend buying a small if you're my size. This one's a little too loose for my liking. But yeah, if you want some entertainment, wear this and go to a Home Depot in a sanctuary city like where I live right now, Washington, D.C., and you'll see all the illegals. Not all of them, but you can maybe see a lot of them start to run away, and you feel like a group fitness instructor. It's really good.
And you actually think that's funny?
I think it's hilarious. Absolutely. What's not funny is them illegally...
There you have it, everybody. One of the worst people I've seen here at CPAC, and that's saying something. Appreciate it.
AOC, who's in favor of open borders and sanctuary city status for New York, now complains that there's too many people there and all law-abiding, working-class, regular citizens are fleeing.
Rent in New York City, just like across the rest of this country, has gotten out of control. Our housing crisis has gotten to such epic proportions that not just the poor, the working class, the middle class, upper middle class people can't even afford to live in the city anymore. If anyone is leaving, it is the actual people that make New York City work. It's the working class.
Hans, are we the baddies?
Are we the baddies?
Unreal how she is talking as if she's not the root of the problem. I think her name, AOC, stands for Always On Crack. She is a part of what did all this. She started the fire, and now she's complaining about the smoke. Make AOC a minimum wage bartender again, and I guarantee you the next thing she's gonna do is blame Trump.
Message to Donald Trump. You Democrats and workers are going to fight back and defend our jobs and our country. We're ready to fight back.
Sé que a ustedes no les duele mi contenido. Les duele es que yo facture más que ustedes sin necesidad de andar como esclavos. Capichi, esa es la diferencia tuya y mía. Que yo siempre voy a hacer dinero sin mucho trabajo. Y tú un explotado, un miserable, ¿sí me entiendes? Un poquitico. Yo siempre seré más que tú. Capichi, métete eso en la cabeza, que no somos iguales. Mira. Lo que a ti te cuesta reunir $15,000 en 200 años, yo lo hago en par de meses. ¿Capichi?
America is healing. Just 11 million more to go, and they can join Dora the Deporter while they're at it.
Deported.
Saying that either I or Andrew or both of us have low IQ, and then Andrew made a joke about deportation. You said I'm a Trump lover. You don't even know my politics.
That's crazy. Like, you guys literally have low IQs.
I think you're just mad he's going to deport your family.
I just find it kind of weird how, like, oh my God, people shouldn't be here illegally. Like, they're criminals. Like, what? You guys go into our country.
Well, which is your country? Is the United States your country, or is Mexico your country?
I was born here. But yeah, I can still say, like, Mexico. It's like my...
Is that your country or isn't it?
No, it's not. It's not like my actual country.
So what's your country? If Mexico and America went to war, who do you have your loyalty to? Do you think that maybe that's a problem with having immigrants in?
Wait, let's get an answer.
Yeah, go ahead.
I would do a lot to protect, like, Mexicans and everything, honestly.
So maybe for the people who are here, right, who when we hear this from even people who are born here with American citizenship, if my country goes to war with your country, I'm going to side with that other country and not my own country.
Since I'm born here, like, I can't really do anything about it.
That's true, except advocate on behalf of the enemy.
Her loyalty is to Mexico, but yet she knows nothing about it. This girl is as sharp as a freaking bowling ball. Mexico is my country, but I wouldn't live there. Girl, what kind of loyalty is that? Imagine saying your loyalty is to your ex-boyfriend, but you went ahead and married the other guy. Dude, this girl is slower than a parked car. This girl has 2 brain cells and they're both fighting for 3rd place.
Stupid, I'm not gonna let you get the chance.
We do not ask permission from far left Democrats before we deport illegal immigrants. We do the American people's business. And again, For the American people who are watching, this is such a weird, mistaken placement of priorities. We need to make our country stronger. We need to create jobs. We need to make our streets safer. What is it about congressional Democrats that get more angry at deporting violent gang members than they do at the victims of those violent gang members? I don't even understand where they're coming from. They've gone off the deep end and they got to come back to reality.
Mexico is refusing to accept a U.S. deportation flight carrying migrants across the border. Here's what we know. On January 23rd, Mexico denied a request from the Trump administration to land a U.S. military flight deporting migrants to the country. Shortly after Donald Trump's inauguration, his administration relaunched the program known as Remain in Mexico, forcing non-Mexican asylum seekers to wait in Mexico until their cases in the U.S. were resolved. In response, Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum stated that Mexico had not agreed to receive the asylum seekers, which is required for such a move to occur. She has stated that she does not agree with mass deportation efforts and believes that Mexican immigrants are an essential aspect of the U.S. economy. However, Sheinbaum has expressed openness toward accommodating Mexican nationals returned to the country. On January 24th, 2 C-17 military aircrafts transported about 80 migrants each to Guatemala, along with a third commercial aircraft also carrying around 80 migrants, according to Guatemalan officials. The C-17 headed for Mexico never took off after it was denied permission to land. When it comes to repatriations, we will always accept the arrival of Mexicans to our territory with open arms, Mexico's foreign ministry said. Although Mexico's exact reasons for blocking the deportation flight are unclear, tensions have risen between the U.S. and Mexico since Trump's inauguration. The president has already deployed 1,500 additional U.S. troops to the country's shared border, and officials have stated that thousands more could deploy soon.
Why are they so essential to America and not to their own country? So they allow them to cross the border, but don't allow them to take them back is crazy. But don't worry. The president of El Salvador has our back. And shout out to El Salvador, because take a look.
How many years altogether did you live in the U.S.?
Almost 19 years.
19 years?
Yes, I have a wife, kids. I have one daughter is 4 years and one boy is 4 months old. I left over there.
You have a 4-year-old daughter and a 4-month-old son?
Yes, I left there.
And they're in with your wife in the U.S.?
Yes. I'm scared because now with Trump, they say they have to go, go with a criminal, but we're not a criminal,
But you have a trespassing conviction?
Yes. Well, to me, it's not like that.
To you, it's not as serious a crime?
Yes, I'm not.
So what now? Where do you go, Fidel?
Now I have to go with my mom, my dad.
They live here?
Yeah.
Are you going to try to stay here? Or do you think you'll go back?
I have to go back, for sure.
You'll find a way back?
Yes.
I just want to feel bad. But I just can't. It is ridiculous that he had 19 years to find a way to do it legally. He had 19 years to get his paperwork squared away. This is entirely his fault. Now may we have the choir come sing for us.
Deported.
Thank you, Mr. Vice President, for your leadership in bringing the country's attention to what has been happening here at the border and the significant change that has already occurred under the short time that President Trump has been in office. Really, what you're seeing here today and what you'll continue to see is a unified effort across President Trump's national security team, the Department of Homeland Security, towards our mission, which is to ensure a safe, free, and prosperous society for Americans. As Director of National Intelligence, there are a number of areas where we are focused. The President talked about in his speech, over 21 million people have come across our borders illegally under Joe Biden's administration. There are many of them that we don't know who they are. They have not been vetted. We don't know where they are. I'll give you one quick example of one of the problems that we are getting after. From Central Asia, there were over 4,000 people who came across our borders using an ISIS-affiliated network. Our National Counterterrorism Center went through and identified those individuals. There were hundreds of them who were either known terrorists or associated with known terrorists. That information was provided to the Biden administration. You may remember in some of the news, a little over 100 of those people were arrested in 2024. Of those who were arrested, only 8 were either deported or remained in custody. Only 8. The rest of them were released back into our country. Where are they? What are they doing? What may they be plotting? This is just the beginning. There are many, many areas that we need to stay very focused on, working with Department of Homeland Security, working with the FBI to ensure that we're keeping the American people safe. Our Counterterrorism Center is working on making sure that we have that single source for vetting so that we can figure out who is actually in our country and identify those who pose a threat and get them removed. The President's designation of the cartels as foreign terrorist organizations falls directly into this, especially as we're seeing some of the tactics that these cartels are using reflect some of the tactics that we've seen used by Islamist terrorists in countries that many of us have served in overseas. Our mission is very clear. Our objective is to keep the American people safe. I'm grateful to be a part of this team that President Trump has assembled to accomplish that mission.
This is literally treason.
That these people that are coming in that are illegal immigrants are getting so much aid that they're not getting. And they're like, this is fucking crazy. This is our community, and you're having these people come in, you're giving them food and money and shelter, and you won't do it for us, and we've been here forever, and we're Americans. This is crazy. And then there's a lot of people that, like even Michael Rappaport, because of the way things are going in the world, is saying that, and he fucking hates Trump, and he talks wild shit about Trump. Even he's saying that first of all, that's not off the table, and that now that's the only solution.
Well, I don't think we're there yet, but I don't think on the basis of the time he would have, his temperament, or his ability to build a team. You know, Trump is kind of a one-man show, and his team-building ability I don't think is enough to solve the problem either. But the punchline of that is, if Kennedy can't do it, for whatever reason, if politics gets in the way, we still have to get whatever that cabal is out of power immediately. This could not be more of an emergency. We've seen through COVID how dangerous these people are, how little they care about our well-being, and we have to rally around whatever it is that addresses this problem. And, you know, as much as I'm not a believer that Trump on his own can do the job, I would far prefer him to another standard bearer of that cabal. The cabal is too dangerous. And I say this, as you know, I'm a lifelong Democrat, right? This is my party that I'm telling you cannot be trusted with governance. But that's where we are.
One of the worst aspects of migrant aid is that you, the American citizen, who have been working your asses off, paying taxes for years, and yet you don't receive any help or aid, and so do our war veterans, and it's absolutely unfair. And yet these illegal immigrants are just freeloading off of your tax dollars.
Meanwhile,
I was just at the grocery store, and a lady and her daughter came up to me and asked if I could pay for their groceries, and I was like, you know, sure. She seemed like she needed help. She didn't speak English. She like handed me a piece of paper that said like, can I please help her? And I get it. Times are really tough. So I'm very blessed. I was like, okay, let me see what I can do. So I'm like, okay, what do you need me to buy you? She points to her cart, and it is full. And let me tell you what was in it. Fresh crab legs, mussels, shrimp, a whole entire chicken. I was like, no, I'm not helping you buy that stuff. That's like better than what I'm eating. I'm literally getting 80-cent cans of beans. I'm all about helping others, but I'm not going to help someone that has the audacity to just buy crab legs when times are tough like that. Especially if you can't even afford it.
Sweetheart, You're not imagining it. We're financing a two-tier system where Americans are left with scraps, while handouts go to those who have contributed absolutely nothing. This isn't compassion. It's national self-destruction.
Is there a way to carry out mass deportation without separating families?
Of course there is. Families can be deported together. And look, I've seen some of these Democratic governors say they're going to stand in the way. They're going to make it hard for us. Well, a suggestion: if you're not going to help us, get the hell out of the way if we're going to do it. So if we can't get assistance from New York City, and we may have to double the number of agents we send to New York City.
If you're a parent and you hire a criminal organization, have your kids smuggled in the trunk of a car or back to tractor trailer, you should come to ICE to get vetted. If you're illegally in the United States, we'll put you in proceedings with a child. We won't take you into custody, but you'll stand shoulder to shoulder with that child and claim your fear as a family. I call that parenting, first of all.
They're not going to bully me away. They're not going to shut me up. They're not going to make me go away. This is the biggest national security vulnerability this nation has seen since 9/11. We have to fix it.
Tom Homan is the perfect man for this job, but also it has come to my attention that sometimes in life, things doesn't go as perfectly as we want. We make mistakes, and when we do make these mistakes, you better best believe we are going to try to do our best to fix it as fast as possible. And guys, this is what I mean.
I just got a letter that I'm supposed to leave United States. Minding you, I came here legally and I've been paying taxes all of this time. My dogs are here and I'm supposed to leave my dogs. Me and my mom, my dogs are gonna be here with my dad and I'm not gonna see them anymore. I'm from Ukraine. There is still war in my country. My city is bombing every day. There's bombs in my city, like 5 of them every day. People are still dying. So I need to come back there to just die there. My face is swollen because I've been crying all of this time. If you're thinking that they are deporting only like bad people, like rapers or killers, they are not. They are not. They're deporting everyone. I don't know what else to say.
First and foremost, we would like to apologize to this young lady on the behalf of America. Now, if I was her, here's the few things I would do. 1, take a big ass loan, leave and disappear. 2, immediately get a lawyer and try to resolve this issue. And 3, girl, you may not want to hear this, but Canada is accepting asylum seekers, so please take your pets and proceed to the Canadian border. Now, ladies and gentlemen, that's it for today's video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe.